Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comfortable Shoes Studio. And I'm Leslie. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about the colors I'm going to put into this little red palette right after I turn on my studio lights here because I forgot to turn them on. This is a question that was asked in my previous video where I was talking about the hacks that I did to it. So painting the inside of that well, getting the old paints out, and adding a washer to it. Not like crazy hacks, but something useful hacks in my mind. So I got a couple of colors that I put into all my palettes, and we're gonna go starting with the Quin Gold, and I'm gonna kind of stick to the same setup as this palette. Quinacridone Gold is one of my favorite warm yellows. I don't really use a lot of other yellows. I have a couple of others, but I'm just going to stick with this one. And so that's like a favorite of mine. And this is Holbein. Holbein? I think it's Holbein. I have the Holbein, and then I have a brand new tube of Dan Smith. And then I wanted to do an orange. I don't usually include an orange, but I'm debating between this orange, which is another Holbein. Get a look at that. I got this scrap paper. Oh, and of course my brush is dirty. Which just tells me that's going to be a good color for mixing with. Leave it to me to grab the dirty water brush to test a color. Okay, I like that. Or I could go with a Cad Orange, which I think is going to be a much more let's see. Actually, those are really similar. And I think since this one is separating and significantly older, I'm gonna use that one. God, that just feels like I put like $20 in there. I haven't bought watercolors in a long time, but I do remember this particular tube of Cad Orange being particularly spendy. All right, so there's that. But this permanent yellow orange is actually a really good color, and it's probably a better choice. I don't think this is real. I wouldn't normally buy that nowadays. All right. And then in terms of reds, I decided I was going to do something out of left field and a little unusual. And instead of a more typical red, I'm going to go with light oxide red. And I'm going to put that in this pan. Let's see if I can get it open. All right, maybe I can't get that one open right now. But I'm also going to do Quinacridone Magenta. It's another favorite color, which, there we go. I have had this one open recently. I don't need to test this one because I do know what this looks like. And that's just going to go right there. So these pans, I don't know, they're not really, are they wells? They're wells, they're not pans. These wells are very large. They hold a significant amount of paint. Now, let's see, I've got that. Those warms. Let's see if I can crack the red oxide. I think doing an earthy red might be kind of fun depending on where I end up using this palette. Red Oxide I have found is really nice for, that's just going to twist that right off if I don't heat it up. I'm going to see my torch come out here a little bit. And we're going to heat that plastic up a little bit. There we go. So that is a old watercolor trick I learned from a professor, I believe, when I was in undergrad. If you can't get the cap of your watercolor off, heat it very gently with a lighter. All right, so red oxide is a great color. It does also go really, really well with the quinacridone gold. Excuse me. All right, so that's a huge amount of that paint in there. Now, I want to do sepia. I'm going to try to, I don't know if I want to put that there or up here. How do I want this to lay out? Because I'm going to do 2 blues, 2 greens. I think let's do the blue here, green there, and then sepia there. Sepia is one of my favorite watercolor colors. It acts as a black. It's a nice deep dark. It also has burnt umber in it, so it is a good mixing color. However, you might have noticed with this particular one, I'm going to have to get out the toothpicks and give that a little mix along with the quinacridone magenta because it's separated. All right, now I was debating these many blues. Payne's Gray is out because I already have a convenience color. The sepia is a convenience color, and it has the black in it that the Payne's Gray has. And I can kind of get a Payne's Gray color by mixing that along with one of these. I think I want to do indigo and then turquoise blue. Yeah, I think I'm going to do indigo and then turquoise blue. And then the real question here is how do I put this out on the palette? I think I'm going to do blue, blue, green, green. I think that'll work. I think I want to do the turquoise blue first. That's a greenish blue. Or no, that's kind of it's a blue. We're going to put that right. Yeah, I can always, well, I can't really change it, can I? So I like the turquoise blue. It mixes pretty well, and it's also a nice sky color. And then indigo is very deep and dark, and you get some beautiful deep darks. And I'm going to use, I've got this cotman and the Holbein. This is just, I'm just picking some of my favorite colors. I think I'm actually going to mix these. I think I'll do 50-50. And this one is stuck again. I'm going to give that a little warm. And then it pulls right off. Easy. So some of these tubes of paint, like this particular, I haven't bought a cotman paint in ages, and I think I got this one when it was on clearance at Artisan Craftsman, which has been out of business for 10 years. Is it 10 years? Did it go out of business when I was in grad school, before grad school? I don't remember. It's been a long time. Oh, that one's sealed shut too. See, I haven't been deep in watercolor in a while. Yeah, see, I used to be a lot less careful about getting paint on my threads. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. But let's see if we can activate some of that like shredded up paint down here, so you can see. Oh, that's got all kinds of different color, but that indigo is just such a good color. Good shadow color. Just a great color. All right, and then for greens, my two greens. Leaf green is definitely one, and then I can't decide if I just want to do permanent green. I think I'm going to do permanent green. I was going to do hooker's green, but yeah, I think permanent green is the choice. So the leaf green is a nice bright yellow green here. And then permanent green is a good cooler green. Yeah. All right. So there we go. So this is a good, I think, basic landscape, urban sketch. You can get a couple of different portraits in there, and I can see already in the orange, I got some of that indigo dropped in there. That's a problem. Yeah, we just picked that out. Okay, so that's going to work pretty well. Let's see, toothpicks for mixing. All right, I got a couple. And get those a little wet, so hopefully stuff falls off better. And get the magenta mixed up. And these are going to stay wet for a good long while, in my experience. All right, so there's the magenta, and then I believe it was just the sepia. That had really separated. Give that a good mix, and then scrape off my toothpick. And I'm gonna mix the indigo together, since that is technically a blend. It's just two different brands. All right, there we go. All right, happy with that. I will definitely be using this palette quite a bit more now that it's got some custom colors in it. I've been using this one for some gesture studies and some sketching. It's been great in that sense. I would say, I think when I fill this in the future, I will take this out, because I noticed that I got some paint on that. I think that's a given, though. It's going to happen in use too. So, all right. I hope that answers your questions. I'll leave a list of these pigments, or not pigments, but the paints, in the description down below, and a link to this palette and my hacks for it. All right, with that, I'll say thanks, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.